She built an empire of luxury. They saw her simple clothes and mocked her. Witnessed the shocking truth that made her dismantle a billion-dollar brand from within. Julianna Hayes stepped into Bryant Lux, the luxury boutique that bore her name, blending in as just another customer. Dressed in a simple trench coat and classic loafers, she didn't scream wealth, but she didn't need to. She had built this empire from the ground up. Today, though, she wasn't here as the CEO, she was here to test her own brand. The boutique exuded opulence, marble floors, soft lighting, and handbags displayed like art pieces. Julianna brushed her fingers over the fine leather of a signature handbag, appreciating the craftsmanship. "Can I help you?" The voice was cool, assessing. A young sales associate, Megan Vance, blonde, impeccably dressed, stood a few feet away. Her expression was unreadable, but Julianna recognized it instantly, the calculation, the judgment. "I'd like to see the new collection," Julianna said evenly. Megan's gaze flicked over her outfit, no designer logos, no obvious signs of wealth, just a simple, well-dressed woman. "Of course," Megan said flatly. She gestured toward a nearby display. "You might find something more affordable here." Julianna let the word settle, affordable, a suggestion wrapped in an assumption. She pointed to a handbag inside a glass case, the most expensive piece in the store. "I'd like to see that one." Megan hesitated, then forced a smile. "That's a very exclusive item." She didn't move to unlock the case. Julianna's patience remained intact, but her grip on her handbag tightened slightly. "It's not for everyone," Megan added, her voice dripping with condescension. A weighted silence stretched between them. Julianna had been here before, on the other side of the counter, years ago, when she was just starting out. "I'd still like to see it." Before Megan could respond, another voice cut in. "Is there a problem?" The boutique manager, Emily Thorne, approached with quiet authority. Older, more refined, with sharp eyes that missed nothing. "No problem," Megan said quickly, "just assisting." She hadn't even bothered to ask Julianna's name. Emily's sharp gaze took in Julianna, the handbag, the situation. One glance, and she had made her decision. "I'm sorry, ma'am," Emily said smoothly, "this boutique caters to a particular clientele. If you're looking for something more suitable, we have lower-range accessories available." A weighted silence filled the boutique. Julianna could feel the stares from other customers, the way they pretended not to watch. She had a choice: walk away and let them remain ignorant, or remind them exactly who she was. She reached into her handbag, pulled out her phone, and dialed. "Robert, come to the Midtown store now." Megan and Emily exchanged uneasy glances, neither spoke. Minutes passed. Then the boutique doors swung open. Mr. Robert Stone, CFO of Bryant Lux, strode in with a commanding presence. His tailored suit was flawless, his silver-rimmed glasses precise. Two men followed, one, a company attorney, the other, corporate security. Megan straightened instinctively. Emily's expression barely concealed her confusion. Robert spotted Julianna and gave a respectful nod. "Mrs. Hayes," he greeted, his voice calm but firm. "I wasn't aware you'd be visiting today." Silence. A long, heavy silence that wrapped around the boutique like an iron grip. Megan's breath hitched. Emily blinked, her mind working to process what she had just heard. Mrs. Hayes? The woman they had dismissed. The woman they had subtly humiliated. The woman they had deemed unworthy, their boss. Julianna met Megan's eyes first, then Emily's. She saw the moment realization turn to fear. Megan shifted uncomfortably. Emily's fingers twitched at her side. Julianna let the weight of the moment settle. Let them feel it. Then, with calm precision, she turned to Robert. "Thank you for coming so quickly," she said. "I had a rather enlightening experience here today." Robert's jaw tightened. He had worked with Julianna long enough to recognize the restrained fury in her voice. And when Julianna Hayes was angry, things happened. "Would you like to discuss this in private?" he asked. Julianna's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. No, she said. I think it's important that everyone hears this. Megan's breath hitched again. Emily's fingers twitched once more. The boutique had just become the stage for a lesson neither of them would ever forget. Robert remained calm, nodding once. As you wish. Julianna turned back to Megan and Emily, her expression unreadable. Do you know who I am? Her voice was measured, almost gentle. Emily recovered first. Mrs. Hayes, CEO. Julianna lifted a hand, silencing her. You had no idea, did you? She said, studying them. When I walked in, you judged me, my clothes, my shoes, my bag. You made a decision about me before I even spoke. Megan swallowed hard. Mrs. Hayes, I didn't mean. Yes, you did, Julianna interrupted, her tone even. You meant to make me feel like I didn't belong. Megan's eyes glistened, but she remained silent. Emily, always professional, tried a different approach. Mrs. Hayes, we have strict policies on exclusivity. Exclusivity? Julianna arched a brow. What exactly is exclusive about Bryant Lux? Emily hesitated. We serve a clientele that values and invests in luxury. And you decided I wasn't one of them? Neither woman answered. Julianna exhaled. This isn't just about me. I built Bryant Lux to be both luxurious and welcoming. What I experienced today tells me we lost that vision. Robert Stone nodded. Mrs. Hayes, what would you like to do? Julianna turned to Megan and Emily. Effective immediately, I want a full review of our hiring and training policies. Every employee at this location will be retrained. She paused. As for these two. Megan stiffened. Emily's jaw clenched. They will no longer be representing Bryant Lux. Megan gasped. Emily gave a stiff nod, accepting the finality of it. The moment passed. Julianna turned to Robert. Handle the rest. Of course. Without another word, Julianna brushed past the handbag she had been denied and walked out. The store fell into stunned silence. Outside, she stood at the curb, arms crossed, watching the city move on as if nothing had happened. Robert joined her a moment later. It's done. She nodded. This isn't just about one store, Robert. He sighed. I know. I built Bryant Lux to be different, she said. I remember what it was like to be judged before I even spoke. Robert let her words settle. This is bigger than Megan or Emily, she continued, glancing back at the boutique. It's about the culture we've allowed to take root. Robert exhaled. What are you thinking? She turned to him, her expression unreadable. I'm thinking it's time we shake things up. The next morning, as the sun rose, Bryant Lux released a statement. Luxury is not about exclusion, it is about craftsmanship, quality, and service. Today, I was reminded that somewhere along the way, we forgot that. That changes now. The story spread like wildfire. Julianna Hayes, CEO of one of the most prestigious luxury brands, had been discriminated against in her own store, and she had made it public. Some called it bold, others called it risky, but everyone was talking. Executives sat stiffly, tension thick in the air. Julianna stood at the head of the table, hands resting on the polished surface. Behind her, the Boston skyline gleamed, but all eyes were on her. I assume you've seen the news? Silence. Good, she said. Here's what happens next. She straightened. We're restructuring our hiring and training processes immediately. A senior executive hesitated. Julianna, with all due respect. This is not up for debate, she cut in, to be felt silent. We're not just issuing an apology, we're making real changes. Every store will undergo a full customer experience evaluation. Every employee, sales associates, managers, will complete rigorous training on inclusivity, service, and professionalism. Another executive leaned forward. This could change how the brand is perceived. Julianna's gaze sharpened. Good. Silence. If we lose customers because we refuse to tolerate discrimination, she said, then they were never the customers we wanted in the first place. No one argued. They wouldn't dare. 1 week later, Fifth Avenue Boutique. Sunlight streamed through the flagship store's windows as Julianna stepped inside again. The staff stood straighter, their greetings were warmer, their attentiveness felt genuine. As she walked through the boutique, she saw change, not just in how they looked at her, but in how they treated every customer. And that it was only the beginning, she had no intention of stopping here. Julianna stepped into the Fifth Avenue Boutique once more. Only a week had passed, but the difference was undeniable. The air felt lighter, the tension gone. Staff greeted customers warmly, without judgment, without hesitation. She moved through the store, observing. A young woman in sneakers examined a silk blouse without being dismissed. An older man admired a leather briefcase, receiving genuine assistance. No assumptions, no exclusions. And then there it was, the handbag. The same one Megan had refused to let her see. Julianna approached the display, running her fingers over the fine leather. A sales associate, someone she hadn't met before, stepped up with a warm smile. "Good afternoon, ma'am. Would you like to take a closer look at this piece?" No hesitation, no doubt, just sincerity. Julianna reached into her purse, pulled out her card, and placed it on the counter. "I'll take it." For the first time in a long time, she walked out of Bryant Lux feeling proud, not because of the luxury, but because of the change it now represented. The morning after Julianna's public statement, Bryant Lux's corporate office was flooded with calls. Some came from panicked executives, others from store managers scrambling to assess their own staff. But most came from customers, thousands of them. Some shared support, others voiced outrage, and many had stories of their own, tales of walking into Bryant Lux boutiques and feeling invisible. Some had been ignored, others had been subtly discouraged from making purchases. Many had never returned. The issue was bigger than one store. Social media exploded. Bryant Lux scandal trended. News outlets dissected every detail. But then the conversation shifted. People weren't just criticizing Bryant Lux anymore, they were applauding Julianna. Instead of issuing a corporate apology, she had taken real action. She had fired those responsible. She had implemented change. And people noticed. A headline captured it perfectly: Julianna Hayes' response to discrimination could change luxury fashion forever. Customers returned, curious to see if things were truly different. Other luxury brands watched nervously, wondering if their own customers would demand the same accountability. And then the industry reacted, competing brands announced internal reviews. Luxury fashion had been forced to re-examine itself. Julianna hadn't just changed Bryant Lux, she had sparked a movement. A week later, Bryant Lux made its biggest announcement yet. Standing before reporters, Julianna faced the cameras. Her voice was steady, her message clear. For years, luxury fashion has been built on exclusivity, she began. But at Bryant Lux, we believe luxury should be about something more: quality, craftsmanship, respect. A hush fell over the room. "I founded this company to create something different, but I was reminded recently that we lost sight of that vision. That changes today." Camera shutters clicked. "We are implementing a permanent customer experience reform across all our stores. Every employee, from sales associates to senior management, will undergo specialized training to ensure that every customer is treated with the respect they deserve." She let the words settle before continuing. "We are also launching a new initiative, the Bryant Lux Future Leaders Program. This program will provide mentorship, training, and career opportunities for young professionals from diverse backgrounds who want to work in luxury fashion." Silence, then applause. Bryant Lux was no longer just another luxury brand, it was a movement. A month later, Julianna returned to the Fifth Avenue boutique. No fanfare, no announcement. The store was unchanged in design, polished marble floors, elegant lighting, but the energy was different. Staff greeted her warmly, unaware of who she was. customers of all backgrounds received equal attention and care. And then she saw it, the handbag. She picked it up, running her fingers over the smooth leather. A young sales associate, someone she hadn't met before, stepped up with a warm smile. "That's one of our finest pieces," she said. "Would you like to see the details?" No hesitation, no assumptions, just sincerity. Julianna smiled. "Yes, please." For the first time in years, she felt truly proud of her company. If this story of transformation and justice touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us that a person's true value can never be measured by the color of their skin, the clothes they wear, or the work they do, but by the difference they make in the lives of others.